If I were French, I'd prefer this end with the red-tipped filaments scattered on the scorched brown grass. And my poem would incite the sophisticated, the French and the Japanese readers, because the filaments look like matchsticks, and it's matchsticks, we all know, that start the fire. Now, that's a long poem, and it's an interesting poem in terms of the imagery, because when you're in your groups and you start to dig in the imagery, you're going to see how the character of the poem, and character is all important in this poem, you're going to see how the speaker, the character of the poem, takes the imagery she said at the beginning and turns it on its head. First of all, I love teaching poetry, but the thing I find most challenging, and I've found it to be that way for years, is that when students approach a poem, they expect to be able to just immediately get it, and they don't, right? Because it's a poem.
No, it's part of personification.
It's part of personification of the 20s.
Yeah, it is.
It's different because that's a personification of all three time periods.
Yeah, but it
Yeah, but you
includes
need
the
to have
20s.
the 20s in the middle. Everything's going to come off the 20s.
And invariably then they'll start to just shut down. You know, it's the sort of the idea that we kind of kill what we don't understand. If I don't get it right away, I shut down on it. Sure, the poem. You know, is it in free verse? Is it in a regular verse? Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, there's more than just one stanza. Why would you think this would be in free verse? I don't know whether it's a reflection, of the culture we live in today, immediate gratification and all that. I don't think so, because I've seen this for decades. But students run away from poetry. And I had that experience when I was younger, and I found my way in, and I'm determined to make sure with students here find a way in too, because it's a very, very rewarding experience. But honestly, more often than not, you get this from a student. Go to a poem, they read it, they in effect say this: I speak English, it's written in English, why don't I understand it? Right? There's something wrong, and they just shut down. The most rewarding thing that I get is when a student finally understands a poem, and by that I don't mean they have found some message that the author put in there. I mean understand it in that they can convey their understanding through an argument that they build on the facts of the poem. So you guys are arguing about whether he's actually talking to his 20s or not?
No, I'm arguing whether or not the 20s are if he's talking to himself to his 20s, or if he's actually thinking that the 20s are a person and he's talking to the 20s.
Well, what do you think, given the construct of the poem?
So he's definitely talking to his 20s.
I think he's talking to it as if it's a person.
Yeah, like a good friend,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it seems to
Somebody
be.
very
Right? And that's everything that I'm working toward. And when a student does that and they take ownership of that poem, it is one of the most fulfilling things I've seen teaching.
Speaker.
Speaker?
The speaker.
Right.
There's 7 speakers.
Same name.
What's the speaker's name? Nicola? Kenneth. Might be the same, right? Go on.
So we realized that there was a lot of enchantment present in the poem.
So you put that's something you noticed immediately, so that's on the outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
We also saw personification of his first 3 decades.
Okay.
So,
You
when
took
they're
them out to a
going
bar.
Then there's the variation in lines.
In the size of the lines.
Size of the lines.
So some of them are very, very small, but I find they're on. And some of them are long, like Mitch falling decades have you gone, oh, I love Yucky Fellow.
Yeah, what did you call that irregular? No regular rhyme, no regular rhythm.
Free verse.
Yeah, it's free verse. Here's what's great about using the routines in conjunction with writing critical commentaries. The routine moves toward a core understanding. I don't care what shape you use, but what I do want you to use, what's important, is that you move into some core understanding. And actually, it's a good thing right now if you haven't even formulated that core understanding. If you're going to move from, say, the surface understanding, say, the action of the poem or the story of the poem, and then some of the questions that come up, and then more in until you get to a core. You know, you're outside there and you're developing. Somewhere along the way, you will develop that core understanding, your overall understanding of what this poem is about, and then you go outward to build the argument. When you approach a commentary, it's just the reverse. You need to start that commentary with that core understanding intact, and then you show the argument. So yeah, the routines are just perfect in my mind for setting up commentary writing, and I've seen some excellent papers come out of both my 10th and 11th grade just this semester on routine-based exercises.